Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. Today I'm doing another Sims 4 speed video or speed build video, and this is in the world of Nordhaven, I believe is how you say it. I'm not sure, but it's in the business and hobbies world. And I'm building on a 20 by 20 lot. I believe when you go in the game it's called like Inglet something. I think it's where there's a tattoo parlor. I'm not sure though, but it is on one of the 20 by 20s. It's not a residential. So in this video I'm using custom content, but I'm also using like a mixture of a lot of other things from just like the regular debug menu. But yeah, I thought I would do something that I haven't done on my channel yet, and that's just building a community lot. I don't normally build community lots, so I just did two businesses in this one today. The one on the left, the one with the brown door, that ends up being a pottery studio, and then the pink one ends up being a bakery. And both of these have two apartments on top, and the one on top of the pottery building is decorated kind of like very beige and like just like what I think someone who does pottery, like their house may look like. It. I tried to use the colors of like clay and stuff like that, so like browns, beiges, whites, like very light colors like that. Whereas the bakery, since it's pink on the outside, I tried to incorporate that with the furnishings on the inside and just try to make it more like pastel and colorful, like the inside and outside of the bakery ends up being. And here I'm just adding these little bump outs. I don't actually end up furnishing or building anything on this third floor. I mainly just added it because I wanted the roof line to look like this instead of just flat on top like I would usually do. But yeah, as I said, I don't build a lot of community lots in the game, but with this expansion pack it kind of inspired me to start doing them, since there are more things for your Sims to go and do in the game now. And here I'm just laying down these little tiles because I'm going to lift it up to make an above the ground sidewalk situation. So the pottery studio consists of those little pottery wheels, and then I included the kiosk, and then there's just some shelves with like debug pottery and stuff like that. So your Sims could probably like buy pottery there too. And then the bakery is also doubles as like a cafe too. So your Sims could like buy baked goods there too, but also like drink coffee and stuff, because I do have the coffee grinder and then like the espresso machines in there and stuff. And there's also seating in there, and also on the outside around this whole building I put some seating. So as you can see, I used some signs that are custom content, and then also ones just from the regular game. And I used debug and live edit objects to decorate the whole outside, like with the fencing and the lampposts and the street signs and stuff like that. Those are all just from the regular game. And since this is only a 20 by 20 lot and the apartments are only one floor, they don't end up being very big. They both consist of just an open floor plan of a living room and kitchen, and then one bathroom and one bedroom each. Here I'm pulling out all of the live edit fence posts I was talking about, and I think that I add fire hydrants to And then later on, I'm pretty sure you see some of it on camera, but on this little side that's grass, I end up making that sidewalk too, and kind of like a little parking area with like some bike posts and stuff. And I think I add like one car over there. And you can't access the apartments from the inside of the businesses, but there is an outside entrance with stairs going up to the second floor where the apartments are, which is how you would get into the apartments. But yeah, both of these little businesses do have their own bathrooms as well. The one for the pottery studio is a bigger bathroom, just because the studio itself is smaller than the cafe slash bakery situation. So that one only consists of like one bathroom stall, but I cut out a lot of the footage for the bathrooms, um, because this whole lot does include like 4 of them, so it wasn't that interesting keeping all of them in. So now I'm just figuring out the floor plan, just for the business part, and I decided to add what looks like 2 extra walls there because I'm gonna raise the platform in between them, so then the shelf on the back of the bakery over there doesn't look like it's floating when you have like half walls up, half walls down, because you can raise the platform behind it and it'll act like a back wall. So here I'm adding, I didn't do it with the pottery studio, the wall situation, because the bathroom is pretty big. But yeah, I'm just adding some shelves on the wall, and these will all be filled up here with pottery soon from the regular menu and then from the debug menu. So I'm pretty sure it's all pottery that your Sims can make in the game on these wheels. And I only added 2 kilns because this space is pretty small, and I personally haven't played with pottery in the game yet. I've just played with tattooing and then other businesses like cafes and stuff and coffee shops, but yeah, I'm pretty sure you won't need more than 2 in a space that's this small. So yeah, now I'm just cluttering up this shelf with a whole bunch of pottery. It's mostly the same things, just in a bunch of different swatches. And then I end up doing that with that other little shelf that's on the left wall, like the smaller one, and I clutter that up with other random pottery I found that just comes in like a brownish gold swatch that looks like it's just pre-made, not painted yet, so I thought I'd include that too to make it more like realistic. I'm just adding some pottery wall decals that just come from the regular game. And then I'm filling up that shelf with all of the pre-made clay things that I was talking about before. And then I move on to making this, which is just like more of a little supply shelf, like cart situation. And some stuff on here is custom content. It's from the Speedbuild like clay party set. I'm pretty sure it's either from 2 or 3. But it's really just brushes that come in it, so you can find stuff like that in the regular game, I'm sure, too. And then I just add the little kiosk from the expansion pack. And I'm just adding some random debug wall decorations too. And then I just size up these little pottery sponges and put them near the kiln just so everywhere is just very cluttered and you can tell that the place gets used a lot. I also add the pottery books too. And here is the bigger bathroom of the two buildings. I just added 3 stalls and then a bunch of sinks. And then the little paper towel things that you put on the wall. And then this first business is pretty much done. I just move on to the next one after this. Sorry, that's a lot of camera flipping. I thought that I cut that out. But yeah, so now I was just figuring out wallpaper and flooring. And then also what kind of color scheme I wanted for in here. And since it is like a bakery, I do end up putting like cakes and like cookies and stuff along the walls. I thought that it'd be nice to have like a pastel theme to kind of like match the baked goods or whatever. And usually, I've never done a bakery in the game. I've done a lot of like coffee shops though, and I usually go for like dark browns and stuff. So I thought it'd be nice to change it to the light this time. But yeah, so now I'm just setting up the back wall that is where you would come up and order the coffee. And then the other walls consist of the baked goods clutter that you'll see soon. And a lot of the stuff you see me using in this building is from the Spoons collection by Harry, and then the Rise and Grind coffee CC set. I forget who it's by right now, but you should be able to find it if you want by just looking up that. And it comes with all the syrups and the other things on the shelves, and then the counters are what come from the Spoons collection. I'm just adding a bathroom door right there. But yeah, like I said, that's the smaller one, so I don't know if I keep it in the video. I don't imagine I would. But yeah, now I'm just putting some of the bakery goods on display. And I decided to use these angled shelves so then you can see what I'm putting on there. And at first I used these little circular bakery things, but I just felt like they just didn't look how I wanted them to. They weren't taking up enough space on the shelf. So then I switched them out with these that are from the Spoons collection, just because they filled up the space more. And then I just added these little tables and chairs everywhere. There's not too many of them, but just enough. And then I don't put it in the video the entire way, but I do end up putting some wall decals over here and then some shelves that have little cakes on them. And then I'm adding more menus, and then I add a tile floor just to kind of like separate it a little bit and make it more colorful in here. Then I'm adding another kiosk. And then I just go around and add these like pastel floral looking curtains on the top of all these windows. Yeah, and in the shot you can see all those cakes that I put there. And those are just decorative. So I don't think they have any gameplay attached if you click them or anything, but that's okay. I just wanted something to fill up the space that was like on theme. And that pretty much finishes up the bakery shop too. And here is where I move on to making the entry points to the apartment. So your Sims will walk up these steps on either side for whichever apartment they're trying to get in. And then you would just exit like that as well. So your Sims would have to come inside or go outside to get to the base. not the basement. I mean, I guess it's technically their basement because it's underneath their apartment, but to get to the business, you would have to walk outside through here. And I did it this way just because I did want bathrooms instead of just having 2 stairwells in the back. And you could have elevators too, but elevators in the game, I just find them really chunky, and I didn't want it to take up space in the apartments above because they're already so small. And here I'm just adding some mailboxes that I believe are from the For Rent pack. And then I just add some windows on this fake 3rd floor here. And I thought about adding some accents around them, but I just thought that it looked okay as it was. And here I'm adding more of the seating areas outside just to fill up the sidewalk space. And then I'm pretty sure I go around and add the business and hobbies fences, the one with the fairy lights. I'm pretty sure I add them around the like little fake parking lot area. Yeah, so right here just to add like a little bit of separation. And then after I place these bikes, towards the end of the video, I end up finding a little like bike post that I end up putting in front of those just to add more realism. And then I just add like a little car that looked like it just drove in and parked awfully. So now I'm moving on to the floor plan upstairs of the apartments. These are the 2 bedrooms. They'll be in the back. And then the really skinny bathrooms that I wish were bigger, but then the bedrooms would kind of be not usable in the way that I would want them to be. So the first apartment you're going to see me furnish is the one for the person who owns the pottery business downstairs. So I tried to make it look like light and airy, like I said, and just like boho style kind of, with like the paintings of like the plants and stuff. Now I'm just cluttering up these shelves and the rest of these kitchen counters. And I don't add a dining room table in here just because I end up adding like a little kitchen bar and there's chairs there. And both of these apartments are made for like a single sim. So you don't really need an entire like big dining room table. And here's that little island that I'm adding in that will have the seats. And I also do add TVs in both of the apartments just because they're good for gameplay. Yeah, so I'm just adding in a little sectional couch back here. And trying to get like some decorative throw pillows and then ones that are kind of like organic shapes, just like how Pottery is, to kind of just go with the theme of that. So I think I placed like a twisted looking one and then just like a pom-pom. Yeah, that one, that like pretzel looking one. So while creating these apartments, I didn't have too much of a storyline in mind. Just that both of these apartments would be just made for one sim. And I guess when I was decorating them, I was kind of thinking of just like two girls that both owned businesses aside of each other, and weren't really competitive. Kind of just used like the advantage that someone could go to both businesses and not choose one or the other. Like you could go and get a coffee and also make pottery. They can go hand in hand if you wanted them to. So, yeah, I wasn't thinking of any like rivalry storyline like I have when like making like my personal businesses, or like family businesses. I wasn't thinking about that at all. I was mainly just thinking of like the color scheme and what I would think like a pastel bakery type apartment would look like. And then obviously here I tried to add little sculptures to go along with the fact that this person owns a pottery business and like makes a lot of their decorations. Now I'm just adding some storage cabinets and just more decorations along the wall just to cover up more space. And here I do this in some of my videos. I just pull out these lights and I end up deleting them, but I kind of just use them for like spacing for decorations when I have move objects on so I can place them in the exact spot. Now I'm moving on to the bedroom of this apartment, and it's not themed or anything. I just did it so it's kind of basic and just matches the rest of the furniture and art. But yeah, typically when I'm making apartments for like a single sim that I myself aren't playing with and I don't have a storyline for, I won't really theme them too much. I kind of save all of my themes for like apartments with like two or more rooms, or like family homes, like big houses where I don't just want all the rooms to look the same. But I figured whoever is living here decorated the bedroom and the rest of the house, so it probably would match, just with having the same taste in like furnishings everywhere. Now I'm furnishing this very, very small bathroom. It was not fun to furnish at all because I felt like I could barely fit anything, and it was just really hard to decorate with the camera jumping all over the place because it's such a small area. So I tried to cut out the part where I was just spinning around, so it wouldn't like bother the eyes or anything. But yeah, I don't do much to them like I usually would. This one I would say is definitely the better bathroom of the two because I added a shelf, but it doesn't matter too much. Okay, so now I have moved on to the next apartment, and this is the one that belongs to the baker sim, who I imagine cooks all the time in their free time, and the baked goods in the cafe downstairs are all ones that they make. So I tried to make this look like a baker's kitchen with like just ingredients everywhere. And that's why I also used this fridge, because it has the oven mitt and like the utensils on it. And I also went for a colorful kitchen instead of just a plain one like I probably would have, just to show the connection between the business and the home. So here is all of the clutter that I was talking about before. On the island, I put a tray of cookies and then some cinnamon rolls just to further emphasize that this sim really likes to bake. But yeah, and I wanted these apartments to definitely be different, so I tried to make this one pretty colorful, since the other one is very, very beige. So I'm finishing up the kitchen now, and then I move on to the living area. And I added some tile in this one just to make the kitchen look like kind of renovated, since I know the other one it's just wood everywhere. And that kind of went along with the small storyline of like this kitchen gets used a lot, so it would make sense for it to have some upgrades. And I thought about going for that big purple couch at first, but it would have just taken up a lot of space. So in the end, I just used these little like flower printed sofas because they're not too loud, but they're still not just plain. And then I also figured that the sim who lives here probably has cats and wants to make her cafe into a cat cafe one day, so that's why I put the artwork of the cats on the wall. Now I'm just adding some more colorful decorations to just keep it looking like light and bright in here. And if, say, you did want a family business and bigger apartments, you could always just delete the wall and fix the floor plan up here so it would just be one huge apartment if you didn't want two separate sims. And then you could still run both the businesses just at different times of the day. There I'm adding some cat food bowls just to get the point across again that this sim probably has a lot of cats and other pets living here. And then I just added a bookshelf because the wall is really long and plain, and I figured it would help kind of separate up the areas better. And then for the rest of the apartment, I just add little pastel decorations and artwork. And now I'm moving on to the last bedroom of the build. And like I said, this one will just match the theme of the apartment too. But yeah, so like light pastels and florals and stuff like that. And these bedrooms are so small, so and I wanted the beds in the center of the room. So that leaves like not too much space for decorations and like different types of furniture. So I just added a nightstand in this one too, some artwork, and then a wardrobe. But I did add a mirror in this one too, which I don't think I did in the last apartment. And I'm just cluttering up the shelf with some more decorations. Then I add a little calendar that kind of matches the theme of the room too. And I wanted to keep the colorfulness in here, so I added a blue rug and then kind of like this funky shaped mirror. But yeah, and then that's pretty much it for the build. I just add a robe here and then some more like pastel flowery artwork again. And then I think I show a tiny bit of this bathroom just because it pretty much is the same. And I've now furnished 3 bathrooms kind of on camera. So, yeah. And there would be room to add a washer and dryer. It would have just been blocking the window, so I just decided not to. Because not everyone likes to play with laundry, so I figured if someone were to download this house, if they really did play with laundry all the time and wanted to, it is easy enough, and there's space to add a washer and dryer. But yeah, I'm gonna end the voiceover here, and this is the finished build.